Well, joining me live to discuss all of this is Eric Langenbacher, professor at Georgetown University and senior fellow and director of the Society, Culture and Politics program at the American-German Institute. Thank you very much for taking the time to be with us. It has been a rollercoaster of a week in German politics, really, with the German parliament narrowly rejecting legislation tightening immigration. There was a heated debate that we saw in the German parliament. The fact that Friedrich Merz could have cooperated with the AfD, that he could have relied on those votes, what would that have meant for German politics?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And I mean, let's not forget that Friedrich Merz already relied on the AfD for a vote back on Wednesday.
Right.
So that was really what set off this firestorm in Germany and abroad. And it was a little surprising, given what happened on Wednesday, that he narrowly lost this vote. But I think it shows that some of the members of his own caucus, as well as allied parties like the Free Democrats, the Liberal Party, that they are having second thoughts about this strategy that he's been taking.
That's interesting you mentioning there some people even from his own caucus having second thoughts. I wonder what you think all of this means for his political fortunes as we head into that snap election next month, because clearly he had been trying to curry some favour with the electorate through these potential proposals. But I wonder if this could potentially deal a blow for his chances of becoming Chancellor.
Well, I think it's still pretty sure that he'll become chancellor, but it's highly significant that Angela Merkel, the former chancellor, actually intervened and admonished him by throwing his own words back at him that he said back in November about never working with the AfD on anything. I mean, there still is a substantial portion of the electorate and the Christian Democratic Union that supports Merkel, and that is, part of her more centrist kind of brand of conservatism. So we'll see. I mean, there's a little bit more uncertainty, but I think it's still pretty certain that he'll be elected. Who he's going to go into coalition with, that is the big question now.
And I wonder, looking, for example, at the Greens, for example, are they looking at this suddenly and thinking that there might be an opportunity where there wasn't previously?
Well, I mean, it's possible. I mean, right now, there's only three mathematically possible coalitions after the election. The CDU-CSU with the SPD, which Merkel had many examples of, a coalition with the Greens and the CDU-CSU, and a coalition with the AfD and the CDU-CSU. I think that after this week, it's going to be very difficult for the Greens to contemplate going into a coalition with the CDU. So I don't think that that's a prospect. And I do think that even though Merz has lost a lot of trust from many people in the electorate and in the political establishment, I don't think that he'll go into a coalition with the AfD. So I think a grand coalition is pretty likely. Even if the Greens do better than expected, I don't think that's going to change the math of forming a new government.
So we'll have to see when we get there. And we know that coalition building can be a tricky business in Germany. Before we do, let's just touch on that issue of immigration, which opinion polls suggest is one of the key issues for voters. Why do you think that is? What has made it such a dominant topic in German politics right now?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot going on there. I mean, first of all, there have been some horrible incidents over the last few months. There was the December 20th attack on a Christmas market in the eastern German city of Magdeburg that killed 6 and injured nearly 300 other people. And then just on the 22nd of January, there was this horrific attack on a kindergarten group that killed a 2-year-old in Aschaffenburg. And I mean, Friedrich Merz, after the failed vote today, actually referenced those 2 events specifically because he knows how much that has shocked kind of the German public. So I think that these real events are part of it. I think the other thing, too, is and there has been a lot of immigration to Germany. I mean, right now, there's about 3.3 million people with various forms of refugee status, which is an all-time high, which also puts Germany as the 3rd largest recipient of refugees in the world. So I think that there is just this sentiment that Germany's welcomed a lot of people and that it's time maybe for a change to that policy at this point.
Eric Langenbacher, professor at the Georgetown University, also a senior fellow and director of the Society, Culture and Politics program at the American-German Institute. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.